everybody. Attention. Hey everyone. What a great crowd. This is awesome. So before we get started, we have, before we talk, we thought we'd do a quick tour of the Music Mall. So we were going to start at Rhythm Traders and then work our way back here. So we'll follow these guys right here, Hank and Ryan, and then Brad. Brad's the owner of Rhythm Traders. So we'll walk out this way. So let's just kind of like, train out there, I suppose. And we'll come back and then we'll get started over here. So, let's do it.
I do. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Hey everybody, welcome. My name's Brad. I'm the owner of Rhythm Traders. Started it in 1992. We were originally across the river, kitty corner from Powell's Books. I had a little teeny storefront. It's about 500 square feet. Cost me $350 a month, and we were just hand drums at that point. It was actually called African Rhythm Traders based on our imports. I was bringing in djembes and whatnot from Ghana and Guinea and Senegal. Then we got into Latin music and North African and samba. And we moved a couple more locations, and so this is actually our fourth location. In 2000, which seems like it wasn't that long ago, but it was 24 years ago.
25?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I feel like I was still in diapers when I started that thing, but we dropped the African part of it because our business had transformed. It had become more diverse. We didn't just do African drumming, but all those things that I told you about, plus drum sets and cymbals and electronics and triggers and headphones and microphones and all that stuff, kind of what you see here. So in 2007, I had been kind of a victim, I guess, of rising rents because I was a renter up until that point. Went from $350, my first location, to before I was able to buy this building, I was paying $3,500. And if I wasn't able to buy the building, I wouldn't be in front of you today because I just would have been priced out of the market. So last year we did a renovation. People's shopping habits have changed over the years. You don't need to have like a big, huge showroom. A lot of consumers know what they want to buy before they come in. They do their research, they read the reviews, they know what color they want, they even know what the pricing is. And so I realized that I didn't need this big jumbo jet anymore. I could have like a leaner, meaner operation, which would also fortify my business so that I would be still relevant and hopefully here tomorrow. So last year, we did a renovation. We chopped it in half, and I kind of told myself, I wanted to find a music industry business. At that point, I was just hoping for one other business. Something that would be complementary, where it would be a destination where bands would want to come, and that our businesses would support each other. So there's also been a trend kind of where businesses are fleeing the inner city and the sort of downtown core. They're heading out of the suburbs or just going out of business or going to an online only model. And so I wanted to come up with something that would fortify my business, but also give me an opportunity to support another music industry business, all the while making it one-stop shopping for the customer. So last year, Hank and Ryan, and you're going to learn more about their businesses here in a second. They came to me together, two separate businesses, and said, hey, we like what you're doing, we love the location, we like the vibe, like what you're doing, supporting musicians, supporting the staff and the product knowledge that we all have. And so they moved in, and they're my neighbors. We kind of christened it the MLK Music Mall because this whole thing now is bigger than Rhythm Traders, and it's bigger than me. And so I think you'll like what we've put together, and I'm glad you guys all made it, and gives me the opportunity to tell you a little more about what we do and everything. And if you want, so there's the main showroom here, and then we renovated the basement as well. So I know we have a lot of things to do, but if you just kind of want to maybe follow me now, and we'll go down to the basement, and you'll get the sort of large picture of, like, because we have lesson studios, offices, backstock, we got a repair area, and then you'll kind of see the full operation of what we do, and then hopefully one day soon you can come back when we don't have so much on the agenda, and poke around and check out all the cowbells and bongos and fun things we have.
More cowbells.
We always do.
Yeah, I played them in, but they're much wider, much less supporters.
Yeah, there's a lot of population there.
Variety. He was the manager of Old Town for a long time, and I've known Hank since I moved here in 2000. And I saw that he was selling some stuff on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to consign some stuff out in the front of my shop?" And I had about 1,100 square feet in my shop on Hawthorne, and he moved into the front 350 square feet of my shop. So imagine Hank's Music Exchange up front in 350 square feet. And we were pretty on top of each other there. And in August, in July and August, we had an opportunity, and we noticed that Brad had opened up these spaces for rent. So we decided to make a go of moving into this location, and it was perfect because I have this shop. I have a really great wood shop now back here to start making guitars, and also to keep the dust containment for making bone nuts and saddles and bridges and everything. And then I have the main workshop in here, which is still a work in progress. We need to put a couple shelves and pegboard and organize our tools a little bit. We opened up, Hank and I moved in and opened up officially on October 1st. And I was here for about 3.5 weeks, and I took off for a month-long tour in Europe after that. So it's been a crazy year for me, but it's been a great year for growth. And we kind of, as Brad said, we kind of called this the Music Mall, the MLK Music Mall, which made sense.
Nice.
And I was thinking about calling it the Music Triad, but we wanted to be able to open it up to other businesses too, not just in this location, but other music-centric businesses like record shops, venues, studios. As you know, like Flora Studios is just down the street. We have Mothership Music. We have record shops. We have the whole Mississippi corridor, Mississippi Studios. So we just kind of wanted to encompass all the businesses to take care of, to take advantage of being called the Music Mall, and draw attention to that Portland's music community is vibrant and well and doing great. And despite Live Nation trying to do everything they want to do to take that away from us, they're not going to take it away from us. So we're going to be just fine. But I feel very fortunate to keep my business running for the past 16 years. And it's all because of the music community in Portland. And I never forget that. And I try to do the best work I can for people, and hopefully that reflects back to the music community here. So thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
And so this is the shop. This is our main workspace here. And then if you want to walk through here, we have just our main like kind of woodworking facility back here. And yeah, go ahead and take a gander. Yay.
Wood.
It smells like I guess like guitar smell.
How's it going? Thanks for coming out, everybody. Appreciate seeing you guys here. My name is Hank, and I'm Hank from Hank's Music Exchange. And I figured we would talk about what this place is. So you're inside of Hank's Music Exchange right here. And then right over there is Eastside Guitar Repair. And then right over there is Rhythm Traders. We all share the parking lot right there, which is great. And before Hank's Music Exchange was here and Eastside Guitar Repair was here, this was all Rhythm Traders, which you guys are, I'm assuming, maybe familiar with, but if you're not, it's a lot of drum, percussion. Brad is right there, who owns Rhythm Traders, if you have any questions about Rhythm Traders. It's one of the oldest music shops in Portland, 1992.
That's it.
Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. So Brad's been around since 1992, definitely been around for a while. I've been doing music retail in Portland since 1997, starting in Old Town Music, if you recognize me from there. I worked there till 2020, then started Hank's Music Exchange in 2022. Ryan started working at Eastside Trade Up in 98 or 90.
I started in 2000 at Trade Up.
I'm sorry, 2000 at Trade Up. And
Then I moved on, it was 6 months later, I moved down to Bend to work for Breedlove.
that's right.
And then
That's
I moved
right.
back up to Portland after 9/11.
Yes.
And then I went back to Trade Up.
Yes.
And bartended at the same time.
So Ryan was one of kind of the early employees of Trade Up Music and helped make Trade Up Music. Do you mind turning up that music, actually? It's on the iPad. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. Thank you. And it's on the iPad on the POS that's right there. It's you have to, like, sorry about that. It's complicated. The other one, the white one, on the other iPad. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. But anyways, Ryan was kind of one of the founding employees of Trade Up, helped Trade Up become Trade Up, and is one of the best luthiers in Portland. If you haven't used him in the past, I'd recommend using him. So the idea was when Rhythm Traders became available, Hank's Music Exchange was kind of already looking for a spot. Our location, I'm sorry, I'm going to backtrack and tell you how Hank's Music Exchange started. So I used to manage Old Town Music, stopped doing that in 2020, started Hank's Music Exchange roughly 2021, and what I did was I started subleasing from Eastside Guitar Repair, which was on 34th and Hawthorne. And that was only 1,000 square foot spot, so it's smaller than this right here. And it was originally all just guitar repair, and then we did the front, about 300 square feet of Hank's Music Exchange retail. And we were doing really great. We did a lot on Instagram. That was a great way for us to do a lot of business. If you guys don't already follow us on there, please do. But anyways, we needed a bigger spot because we were doing a lot of business. And our location came up for sale and sold, and we needed to move, and this was a really great option because it's so much bigger, and then also just being part of Rhythm Trader on the Martin Luther King Music Mall has been really awesome. And then also, you know, what Rhythm Traders doesn't do, Hank's does do, and what Hank's doesn't do, Rhythm Traders does do. So there's a lot of, like, we really help each other out. There's also a lot of other really great shops that you're probably aware of, like, you know, Blackfoot Guitars is right down there. Control Voltage is right down over there, and then Mothership Music's right there. Trade Up Music is right over there. So we're really in between a lot of other great retail places, which was part of our strategy. But yeah, it's been really great. We've been here since October 1st, and it's been pretty awesome. So I'm excited for the future and everything. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Cool. Awesome.
Okay, now that we've got your attention, I think I'm going to skip standing on this thing. So I'm sorry. Here, I'll just, since I am short. I just want to quickly, before Mara and I get into some volunteer talk, we have Colin Stackhouse here from Healthcare for All Oregon, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about that today.
Nice.
Yeah, Colin.
Wow.
He's going to
I'm up.
Going for it.
Oh, wow. So I'm a little, I'm excited to talk to you about a very confusing topic. It's hard to know where to begin, but I'm here as an expert in this room. In a lot of rooms, I'm not an expert, but in this room I am. And I'm here to tell you that Oregon is very likely to be the very first state to transition to universal health care.
Wow.
Can you guys just clap really loudly for that? Yeah. So it's super complicated. I have cards which are informative, and I'd like you to pass them around. Don't try to read the card while I'm talking, because it's like the same information, but it's so dense, it's so complicated that this is something that you can take home. And I have a ton in the car, so if you want to take 2, feel free. So I am here, I'm a member of Healthcare for All Oregon, which means like I'm a volunteer with Healthcare for All Oregon. I do the social media management, or the social media coordinator for that nonprofit. Healthcare for All Oregon is a nonpartisan nonprofit organization that has been focused on universal healthcare reform in Oregon for 20 years. So I joined the organization about 4 years ago, and 2 years ago at somewhere I spoke White Eagle with the Jeremy Wilson Foundation on like a healthcare talk. So it was not my first time with MusicPortland and discussing this action. So our nonprofit has been working for 20 years on universal healthcare, and through a combination of 20 years of work and luck, I am here confident telling you that Oregon is the 1 in 50 chance of being the first state to transition to universal healthcare. Psychotic. It's crazy. So, I know. What's that? So, great question. And please, I'm planning on like being available for 10 or 15 minutes, and it's a complicated topic. So ask questions. The question that was just thrown out was, is it soon? So I'll take a couple steps back and talk about the timeline. So that's the nonprofit. There's another hat that I wear, which is a connection with the state of Oregon and the Universal Health Plan Governance Board. The Universal Health Plan Governance Board is a group of 9 volunteers that were appointed by our legislature and approved by the governor, and they're all healthcare. They all have professions in the healthcare industry, but none of them are in health insurance. And these 9 volunteers are obligated to deliver a plan for how Oregon can finance, administer, and transition to a universal healthcare system. They're obligated to deliver that plan in September 2026. I was selected so that's a group of 9 people, 9 volunteers. There's another category of 45, 50 other volunteers, in which I'm part of that category. I'm in the Community Engagement and Communications Committee of the Universal Health Plan Governance Board. And that on the back side, there's a calendar. So that's just for the month of February that talks about the different subcommittees and then the main Universal Health Plan Governance Board meeting. So this is for February, but from now through September 2026, there's like 6 or 7 opportunities for Oregonians to talk to the governance board and let them know, are you interested in universal health care? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you want your insulin covered? Like, what do you want? They want to hear from you. So currently there's 4 subcommittees. There's community engagement and communications, plan design and expenditures, finance and revenue, and operations. There's going to be a 5th subcommittee, which will be open for public to apply to participate if you want. That 5th subcommittee is the transition and implementation subcommittee. But yeah, so from now through September, more like March of next year, so like 14 months, of 6 times a month, you could pop into these State of Oregon meetings and like talk to the people that are making this plan. So they're delivering the plan in September 2026. I've heard that the timeline, there's 3 possible timelines. One is that the legislature, who have requested all this work be done, they will have this plan in September 2026 and they could just implement it. They will have the power. I've heard maybe that's not likely, who knows. The second option is that the legislature could bring it forward to Oregonians to vote on, which could be 2027 or 2028. And the third most likely option, but who knows, would be we, Oregonians, would have to get it on our ballot with a ballot initiative. So that would be 2028 that we'd vote on it. If it is that 2028 vote, likely implementation in 2030, which is like pretty soon, I guess. Yeah, that's just like word vomit, like the facts that I know, but I know a lot more. So, first question.
What kind of support do you need outside of those committees?
Oh, good question. So on the back of that card, it talks about the nonprofit Healthcare for All Oregon. So I encourage you to sidebar. That QR code will take you to our website, and our website is it's bad. Our website's under construction. I need to do some work on our website. Anyway, but signing up for the HCAO Healthcare for All Oregon mailing list to just be up to date on the emails. You can also join the Portland chapter. I'm a member of the Portland chapter, the geographic, part of our nonprofit. Yeah, so I would say doing that, honestly, talking to your community and just the governance board, my committee representative on the governance board, even though there's going to be funding and like dollars for us to communicate to Oregonians, the most of this work is going to be done peer-to-peer and just like tapping into communities like MusicPortland that already exist to spread the message about this thing. So sign up on our HCAO mailing list, tell your friends, and if you have anything you want to say to the governance board, they are desperate to hear from people.
So it's Healthcare for All. What's the website, just in case people lose
their card? Totally. HCAO.org, Healthcare for All Oregon is the nonprofit. So, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, great. Yeah, you got a question.
But by some miracle, and I mean miracle, there's federal universal health care. How does that interact with the state?
Totally. Yes. So we are connected with this union, National Nurses United, that is like spearheading the revamped federal Medicare for All programming. So there's going to be another, in addition to the work of the governance board, there's going to be this federal push that we're going to participate in, trying to get Maxine Dexter to sign on as a co-sponsor to this bill. I've heard potentially it'll be pretty easy. So. Who knows? So in short, like we are aligned with that campaign, but that campaign is only from March until May, and this thing is we don't need them, which is great. Another reason why Oregon probably is going to be the first state. We are the only state with a fundamental right to health care in our Constitution, which we all voted for in 2022. So
does Massachusetts have universal health care?
No state.
Based on marketplace.
No state has universal health care. Quite a few states have near universal coverage, but it still means there's like a tangled mess of insurance companies, and it's confusing. While this would be a universal health care system that is for every resident of Oregon, and then insurance could be additional to that if you wanted. So.
Nice.
Amazing.
Give it up for Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
Yeah.
So before Mara and I get started, I know you came here because you wanted a bunch of handouts, so I'm going to hand out something else here. We have a volunteer sign-up sheet, so while we're talking about it, you can kind of decide if there's an area that you're interested in and sign up right here on this sheet. We also have QR codes kind of on the counters, a few different ones, if you would rather do it on your phone. I just kind of was like, yeah, paper sounds great. Like, I don't need to be on my phone all the time. But it's up to you. So I'm going to pass these out, and I'm going to give this to Mara and have her get started. So here.
I'm not climbing on this thing. Oh, I got to be over there?
Yeah.
Stage direction is telling me I have to be at this side then.
There we go.
How about if I lean on it casually?
Lovely.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm going for.
That's the vibe.
So, hello, MusicPortland. How great is it? Every time this is coming up, I'm like, okay, all right, sorry, my husband is telling me to do this. So every time there's one of these, I'm like, okay, here I go. But I'm always so delighted to come to these things. So I had an interesting conversation with a musician that was coming from Nashville who was thinking about moving out west and was looking at Seattle and Portland. And she's the kind of person that like reaches out online to a bunch of people to kind of get a vibe, like what's it like to be a musician in these places? To a person, everybody she talked to in Seattle said, "Oh my God, don't move here. It is. They're not supporting us. There's not places to be. There's not stuff." She called me. I was her third call in Portland, where everybody was welcoming. Everybody said there's hope. Everybody said there's good things coming. That we're together. That we're standing up and demanding what we deserve. And I tell you, she charmed me. I don't think she's here tonight. I haven't met her. I told her she could come and stay with me because she was so delightful. But yeah, just like, how do people feel at this point about the prospects for music in Portland and you as music people in Portland?
Good. Excited. Yeah. Positive.
I think as long as you have faith in yourself and you believe in your music or whatever you do, you go a long way. That's what I do.
Awesome. Well said. All right. Now, I wrote notes down because you all know I can run long. Just chuckling.
That was me. But I have the same problems.
Yeah, I know. Kindreds. So, there it goes. So, most of you know this. A little bit lower.
Yeah, perfect.
I get a lot of direction from this crowd. Perfect. So 7 years ago, we started MusicPortland. Chris Young and I decided we'd been listening to people bitch about what was wrong for long enough, and it was time to change things. And a ton has happened. We started MusicOregon a couple of years later as a C3. A ton has happened. And we're now on the map. Like, I don't think that people talk at city government without at least considering music, our music, as part of it. And yes, thank you. And that's a huge sea change from where it was. And we should all be incredibly proud of that. But at this point, we've got an incredible reputation. I heard once when somebody heard that MusicPortland was riled up about something, a sitting city councilor said, "Oh God, if MusicPortland's up, okay, we got to, it's like we got a little fear going there, which is great. We've got momentum. There's exciting things happening. We've got a city council and a champion in city council who makes no bones about the fact that we are a priority for this city and that we are strategically bound up with its recovery." And it just, I get all choked up. We're also building our reputation at the state level, where across the state, these cluster communities that have music in them are a driver for economic development in small communities. And if you're a pedal maker, you don't have to live in Portland. You can live in Baker City, and have the life you want and create things if we all start to connect ourselves. And, we're connecting now with the arts and culture systems that have for years sort of said, "Oh no, that's for profit." I think there's been a real thing. Jamie and I were at something where, without warning, one of the main drivers, I think, of arts and culture lobbying and presentation in the city said the most significant and effective lobbying organizations for culture in the city, in the state even, is MusicPortland and MusicOregon. And we were like, but it's phenomenal. Like, this is what happens when we stand together. And so we are really, really proud of the impact that we've made since 2018. But our promise and potential far outstrips our small and mostly unpaid staff and volunteer network. It's limited, and we need to build an organization that stands with all of us, where everybody contributes what they can. And with the support of our new board, how many board members are here? Come on, pop your hands. Look at that. Thank these people. They've done amazing work. They are really, I started this organization because shit had to get done. I didn't think, yeah, exactly. And, and it's been great, but I didn't build a scalable organization. I didn't know how. And this group has stepped in and really meeting the promise and the potential of this organization by helping us to really identify how we can scale. And one of the main things we can scale with is y'all's help. So Renee has passed around the flyer where you can, what are you doing?
Another mic.
Because it's better? Because I'm spitty? Apparently I'm spitty. Sibilance. So what we are looking for, there are 3 categories that we... What am I doing now?
No, it's good.
No, it's great. It's way better.
Is it better?
Yeah.
It's a poor speaker that blames their tech. I'm just saying. But so we're looking at really 3 categories of engagement. Each of these has different things under them. But there are kind of 3 big categories that we want to find out who are the people that stand up. Because frankly, as an organization, and because my board is a smart group of people, we can prioritize the things that people care enough to participate in. And that's really, really important. So the 3 categories are
Data team, and then
audience development and external marketing.
and then marketing like internally to like music professionals, basically. So membership.
You hit it first.
I'm going to talk a little bit about data team. It's pretty simple. Like we run like an Airtable database, and we need some help with a couple of different components, I suppose. There's one just like keeping maintenance of that database, and if you are familiar with Airtable at all, that's pretty awesome, and we could definitely use some expertise there. Any sort of like automations or something like that, getting some things done. When people sign up for membership, they go into Airtable. There's, certain automatic processes that need to happen for that we have set up, and there's always room for more of that kind of thing as well. So that's more of a bonus thing, though. Another big part of the other side of the data thing is research. The reason we've gotten as far as we have with having a seat at the table with our city is because of research, is because of the census study we did a couple years ago. If we didn't have data, which there wasn't before that, then we would not have anything to talk to people about, to have conversations about and say why we make such a big impact in the city. So if you are somebody that's really interested in that kind of research, and I'm talking about like, go research all the venues in this town and find out all the things about them, and put it in a spreadsheet for us, that kind of thing. Those are things that, you can't exactly easily scour, and we don't have time for. And so we would love for people who want to get geeky about that kind of thing to help us with like, hey, let's learn about what we can do and like and analyze it and tell everyone about it and then discover cool things about our music scene that we can leverage for awesome things. So
yeah, and this is a great task for introverts. You can sit at home, you can watch a little thing on Netflix on the side and go and find venues. And we will have a starter list across the state, because we also want to know across the state, because we're starting to look at how do we make touring easier for you. So I think this is a great one for the people that are like, I don't want to talk to anybody, but I want to help. Because there's a ton to be done. There's also exciting kind of creative opportunities for people to go, okay, how we could do it? How we could find these, other record labels or other producers or things like that. There's a lot of creativity in data research. So if you're that kind of person, join up.
Calling all nerds.
Yeah, calling all nerds for sure.
my people, so.
But wait, I want nerds too.
We all like data over here, so.
So I'm focused on audience development and some of the external outreach that's going to really be necessary in the Trumpian tsunami that we're facing. We need to have new kinds of alliances and funding sources. So looking for people that are willing to do outreach, like Portland Music Month that we suspended this year because the vision got bigger, because we found there was a huge appetite from local hotels and restaurants. They want to be a part of it. And the more we can connect music to their success, the more important music becomes. So let me hear a woo whoop. Okay. I'm really focused on how do we build audiences, get more people to your shows, get more corporations centering the music culture that brought many of their employees here in participation with it. So I think there's a ton of exciting strategic ideas that we need, but we also need people that'll roll up their sleeves and get stuff done, get shit done. Yeah. All right, that's me.
Yeah. And then the last thing is more internal marketing. So that could be like newsletters to our people, people who want to like write a blog. You know, if you're a music business and you want to write a blog, or you have your finger on the pulse of something that's happening in the music scene that you think is important, talk to us about that. We want to expand our social media presence, do more like reels. Apparently that's the new thing to do. So
It's brand new.
it's brand new. Like, yeah, I'm just discovering this now. So if you're somebody who's like, I could be the next Portland music scene influencer, talk to us. We just want to get, the word out to people like you, and that we're here and that we're doing this, and it's important. And this is like what, 30, 40 people, and there's like tens of thousands of music professionals in this town. We need to do a better job of getting the word out about what we're doing here. And so if you're good at marketing or messaging or even guerrilla marketing, we're open to that. But to be like more practical, graphic design, social media skills. We have a social media person who is lovely, but we could always there's always go in and follow all the cool people. Just little things like that we don't have the time for. So creating compelling written, I put commitment, I don't know what that means. Oh, I got it. Compelling written statements or something. So yeah, we're thinking of internal stuff, how you can talk to each other, that's it, really, those three things.
Yeah, and at a base level, every one of you should be telling all of your music peers, they don't have to pay anything to be a part of this. And every person that steps up to be a part of it gives us better data to advocate with. It gets us better community to empower. It gets us more opportunities to help and support. And one of the ways that I definitely want to pitch is that we're doing a couple of new initiatives. One is the Portland Music Producers Gathering that you will see more and more about. Very exciting stuff. There's Discord channels, getting the whole production community really to talk amongst itself, to do, hackathons and, sort of group things to build an even stronger community. Because in the big picture, we want to make Portland a major production destination. Because we are half the price of LA, maybe less than half the price. We're 30% less expensive than Seattle. Why aren't we maximizing that? And we need to bring the community together to do that. The other group that we are enabling is our film and music community that is being coordinated through Particle Studios. Give it up, Biggs. Many of you may know him because he's been running the Pickathon show for how many years? 16 years. He's now running Particle Studios, which has really stepped up because they want to connect the film community with the music community. And we're having a kickoff for Music Video Month, which is a MusicOregon program that is up to 70% discount on equipment rental, on stock video, locations, staff, everything. On Thursday night, starting at 6? Yes. At 6 o'clock at Particle Studios, you can see it on the events page on MusicPortland, we're having an informational gathering. If you've ever thought about wanting to do a music video, if you're planning on doing a music video, or if you just want to kind of figure out what this whole thing is about, come over and talk. Particle is going to be starting a whole series of these meetings that offer opportunities for people to make videos within their amazing space. But more and more, I think MusicPortland is going to be finding these partners that are aligned, that can make sure you're getting the information that you need and the connections that you need to be successful in all kinds of ways in Portland. But mostly, thank you guys, everybody. It is a privilege to be a part of this community, and we hope we can do great things in the coming year.
I wanted to tell you all about the next First Monday. And we did this study in partnership with, I think, Michigan State, if I can remember correctly, about the what happens when you record DIY versus when you record professionally, and what the difference is in your success rates. And we have a panel with Larry Crane from Jackpot, Amy Dragon from Telegraph will also be on that panel. Please come to that one. They're always free. It'll be a good time. Please check it out on our website. Just want to let you know, heads up on that. That'll be a big one. Okay, thanks.